Yo, what's good, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sisters trailer breakdown. This is season 6, episode 15, trailer breakdown. And the name of this episode is Too Close to Home. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell somebody to tell somebody, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax, and let's just get right into this messy thing. Now we see Karen, Zach, and Fatima, who happen to bump into each other at the grocery store. They got a little run-in happening. And I noticed that Zach's knuckles, of course, are still bloodied and bruised while he is holding his son, Michael, in his arms. And even though I can understand how off-putting or Karen having a moment of shock after seeing Zach carry the child who she's already seen before in his arms, there is no conversation that needs to be had in this moment. Nothing needs to be discussed after 11 o'clock in the frozen food aisle. Okay? Well, they're not even in the frozen food aisle. They're by the diapers. Because obviously, Michael isn't potty trained. And Fatima mentioned that he smells, that he smells. So obviously he probably is wearing a soiled diaper. And so, they're going to pick up something for him. And as I'm looking at this interaction, I was really hoping that it would be mature. But what is maturity? This is sisters. So that's not going to happen. And so in my mind, I'm like, regardless of what Karen feels needs to be spoken, it doesn't need to be spoken. It is not of importance and nothing can be done after 11 o'clock at night. And obviously, I don't know what was said, before or prior. But I was like, Karen, my good sis, baby, you said you was hungry. So much so that this hunger drove you to the grocery store at 11 o'clock at night for you to go get something to eat. So sis, just get your food and go home. Don't make a scene. It's not worth it. Nothing else needs to be said until this child comes. And you could see Zach was getting irritated. He was telling Karen to stop. Her reply was, stop what? And so he told Fatima, like, let's just go. And they proceed to turn their back, and Karen is standing there and she's saying, excuse me. I said, here we go. Here we go again. One of the greatest lessons for me in life is learning what and who to extend or exert energy on. And that is a lesson that I want all the sisters to master, because sometimes they give energy to places and things that they shouldn't. And at the end, it causes them heartache and headache. And some things you just have to let it go. It may not be the right time to have the conversation. And even though I do respect the fact that Karen is not afraid to have the difficult conversations, there is a time and a place for everything. And this wasn't the time, and the grocery store damn sure wasn't the place. So we see Fatima, and she's taking off Michael's jacket. And I'm going to go ahead and say that in the midst of her doing that, she is noticing bruises on his body. And she calls out to Zach, who is walking down the stairs. And I'm just like, I'm not looking forward to this storyline. It is a real thing. There are countless of children who are in abusive households who gets abused, whether it's by their parents or it's by a step parent or someone that their parent may be seeing. So even though, it is a great opportunity to bring a taboo subject to light, I just wish we went into a different direction with this storyline, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So we get to Andy at the law firm. She got on her little pink. I said Andy is rocking pink. She had the pink Tinkerbell angel flyaway dress the day before. And now she got on this pink power suit. I said, all right, Andy, I guess pink is just your color right now, sis. So Fatima looks to be super ecstatic and excited about the fact that Andy received flowers. And so Fatima really wants to know what happened with the date last night. It must have went well. I said, wait a minute, Fatima, sis, wait a minute. Don't get too happy, because those flowers could very well be from Gary. We know how Gary operates. We know how, Killer Gary like to do stuff. Don't get too happy. Andy, sis, I'm going to need you to read that card and see who sent it to you before you get all happy. Because that smell like Gary to me. It smells like him. That's what he does. So don't get too happy, sis. Next, we see Sabrina, and she's at Calvin and Maurice's house. I think that green looks amazing on Novi. It looks like a little jumper. Whatever it is, it looks very good. And I'm like, I could really do without Maurice, but that is another conversation. So Sabrina is telling Maurice about her conversation with Bayo, about how he was talking about the bail and all of that stuff like that. And Maurice had this smirk on his face as if he was right. And I think he actually said that, like, I was right. And I'm thinking, even though this may not happen, I do want to see Sabrina tell Maurice about himself. Because I hate the narrative that Maurice is so quick to bring up someone being homophobic or someone being judgmental about his lifestyle or about who he is as a person. And my thing is, no one has an issue with Maurice because of his lifestyle or his sexuality. People have issues with Maurice because he's disrespectful as hell and he believes that the rules don't apply to him. Because we have seen with them watching these 6 seasons of Sisters that Maurice sometimes can be very aggressive when it comes to him liking someone and putting all that sorts of energy, like, back the hell up. The rules do apply to you. And just because you may not like what someone says, don't be so quick to label someone homophobic. That's something I can't stand when people do that. Like, it irks me. I'm like, no, you just disrespectful as hell. And I really wish that Sabrina would tell him that. I want to see her have a backbone and stand up to this person. Because to me, it is hella disrespectful and it's unnerving watching the way that he talks to this woman who has been nothing but helpful. Especially knowing the fact that Maurice doesn't really have friends and he doesn't have any family. He's never mentioned siblings. We know that his father unalived himself and his mother disowned him, which is horrible, which is absolutely horrible. But that is the makeup of the character Maurice, and the one person in his life who is truly a ride or die, who has been consistent. He shits on her at every opportunity. And I'm honestly just sick and tired of it, as y'all can tell. Moving right along, it appears that Danny is doing something that she normally does not do, which is getting ready for work early to arrive to work on time or early. And so this is a red flag. It alerts Preston. He's like, what's the rush? And Danny tells him, well, I want to beat the traffic, Preston. Since when, sis? Since when have you tried to beat the traffic, my good friend? You're not trying to beat no traffic. We all know what Danny up to. We know what Danny trying to do. Danny is trying to, meet up with stalker Tony before they got to clock in. That's what the hell she doing. Danny, we know. We pulled your card. We know exactly what you're doing. And I know in Preston's mind, he knows something up. He may not know exactly what is up, but he knows something is up because this is abnormal behavior for Danny. Danny is the one that's going to smoke one before she go in, smoke one on her lunch break, and smoke one as she's going home. Arriving to work early, that ain't Danny. Even though Danny's the supervisor, Danny gets to work when she wants to. Take her lunch when she wants to. Hell, leave when she wants to. To be to work early, my good sis? We not clocked you, boo. You was just giving girlfriend energy less than 12 hours ago. Now you meeting up with stalker Tony. We got you. So last but not least, we see Zach, and it looks like someone, or maybe he has fixed breakfast for Michael and he's at the table. And Zach actually looks really happy. He looks very fatherly, I must say, as he is talking to Michael, and he's letting him know that he's safe with him. And as Zach and Michael are walking out the door, Zach has Michael in his arms. We see Heather along with the police officer, and she's telling him to arrest Zach. Now, let me say, because I have gotten mixed reviews, about this and mixed opinions, and, I have my own. I don't agree with any woman leaving random men around their children. I don't. I also do not judge anybody because I do not know the circumstances and the situations. I do know and have been around people who literally have no one. And those of us who have families, those of us who have friends, those of us who have community, to meet someone who doesn't have that, it is one of the wildest things. Because I come from a huge family. I have siblings, so many cousins, friends, all of that. So I can't judge someone's circumstances because I don't fit in there and I don't know. However, I have always said, going back to what I was saying earlier, I really wish that with this particular storyline, we could have seen Heather and Zach struggle through co-parenting because they have two different very lifestyles, two different very financial, they're in two different financial places in life, different perspectives, perceptions, opinions, all of that, morals, whatever you want to call it. That would have been a struggle in itself to come into agreement when you have that many differences. And I do agree with the nosy neighbor. Sometimes you got to be careful who you lay with because you do not know whether a child will be conceived or not. And that is a scary thing. And unfortunately, the situation, there is a 3-year-old innocent life between Heather and Zach. Now, I ain't going to lie. I would have been on the same energy as Heather because you kidnapped my son. You took my son. You and Fatima know where I work. Nobody came up to tell me what was going on. That in itself I would be irate. I would be pissed because even though Michael's living arrangements are not the best, he's been with his mom for 3 years. So I couldn't even imagine you getting off working and you go home, your baby not there. Like, I'm not looking forward to the demise of Heather's character. I'm really not, because I'm just tired of seeing this trope. I know it does exist. It does happen. But I really would like to see, yes, it may have started like that, but give them a place to go that's actually to better her and not just make her out to be the scum of the earth for Zach to be exalted once again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like to see, but we know it ain't gonna happen. But it's just not. But yeah, that's the trailer breakdown. That's episode 15, again entitled Too Close to Home. I think I forgot to give y'all the synopsis. The synopsis is, after spending time with Michael, Zach learns he must do whatever it takes to get custody of his son. Preston and Danny continue not to see eye to eye. And I'm like, what you mean not to see eye to eye? Y'all, what happened? Y'all was just, I can't do them. All I'm going to say, and I'm going to end it with this, what they, couple named Destin is not destined. Okay? Destined is not destined. And that's the benediction, and that's how I'm going to end church on this good old Thursday night. But I want to thank y'all again for listening. Thank you to all the new subscribers, everybody who's commenting, everybody who's, DMing me, emailing me. Even if I don't agree with your stance, I appreciate you taking the time to let me know how you feel. So until next time, y'all be safe out there, and I will holler at y'all later.